Hello friends, how are you? Well, it's pouring rain and it's a bit chilly, but I thought it would be so cool to talk to you about something on my mind, and it's this right here. It's a little rained on, but essentially what you have is you have a sine wave, right, going up to a happy heart, right? And then you have a sine wave going down to a sad heart. And then in the middle, you have a heart that's fully connected with, your own soul, with God, with divinity through you. And what I wanted to talk about today is what's coming and how to handle it, on a personal level. And the fact is I think this drawing right here is this is my idea, okay, my suggestion, which is that I think what we're, going to be seeing a lot of is revelations, right? We're going to see that the sun was recently at Pluto, okay? The sun conjuncted Pluto. The sun was at 0 degrees of Pluto for the inauguration chart for the U.S. presidency for the next 4 years. Sun at 0 of Aquarius, so seeing into every degree of the new age. And then it was a degree from Pluto, seeing all the good and all the darkness. At the same time, Pluto has moved to, it's at 2 degrees right as I make this, but Pluto has moved ahead of Sedna in its trine. Pluto's been trining Sedna since 2019. And I've made several videos on how this energy is about breaking victimhood. And now that Pluto is in a new sign and it has advanced ahead of the degree Sedna's at, because Sedna's at 0. I think what this is doing is it's helping to shift victimhood at new levels. It's helping us to see our traumas fully and in ways that support us moving into a new age, and that support you personally in your life. Look where I am at. Look at this. Look at this tree. Isn't that amazing? Look at that. It's so amazing. And I'm just gonna aside here about the trees, and look how beautiful. See, it's just holding out its branches to me like, mwah, love you. It's just looking so beautiful. It's just wonderful. So as we see these deep, dark revelations, right? The question is, do we go at it from the dark heart, right? Do we go to the depths and get into depression? And friends, that's really easy to do, okay? Or do we lift ourselves up, okay? And, somehow stay happy anyway. But when you're dealing with real world realities, whether it's in your private life or on a national or greater scale that you're, observing as a person living on Earth, fake happiness doesn't do it either, right? So we can be elevated in happiness within having, bad or negative information around us. But, I've been doing my best to be that heart in the center, okay? And I look, honestly, it's hard, and I don't always do it. But to be in the connected, beautiful, flaming heart in the center of my being, in the center of my human body, in the center of my human life, my soul connected self. That's my goal. I'm putting this back in my pocket. It's gotten totally rained on. That's my goal. And from the center, okay, I can be an observation. I can be an observation about, this has happened in my life. This has happened. I just read something disturbing in the news. This has happened in someone else's life. Now, when the information is triggering, it can be challenging to deal with, and I'll be the first to admit that I don't always do a good job of it. But but we do what we can, and we continue learning. Like I sit here and I think about these great big trees, okay? Look at these trees. They're so incredible. And sometimes I sit here and I think, I know this is silly, but this is what I think. I think, well, this one in front of me, let's say it's been around, maybe it's been around a couple hundred years, 100 years, 200 years. Hey, wind and trees. Whoa. Well, anyway, my umbrella, hold on. It's flying away. I wanted you to be able to see the trees. That's why I took down the umbrella. But I think about it and I think, imagine if you were a tree here wasn't that cool? If you were a tree here for 100 years, 200 years, what would you have seen? Like, how do they deal with it? Like, how, human life, like, we go through these amazing ups and we go through these amazing downs. And, sometimes I think of them, like even the redwoods, as like divine guardians, divine beings. They're so incredible and beautiful. And they're just such a presence, in a way, a permanent presence from the perspective of our lives, because our lives are shorter than theirs, and how would you just be present, observing, both the blessings, but also the terrible tragedies. I don't know how they do it. Sometimes I don't know how they do it. Because life is full of ups and downs. So being the flaming heart in the center is the greatest way that I've found to address this, in the flames, you could call that the flame of the Holy Spirit. You could call it the transmuting violet flame, the sacred heart, the trifold flame in the heart, but allowing, the excess emotion or what is not mine to burn in that fire. And sometimes people use other images. I have a friend that uses a waterfall, to wash away these things. It's okay to have our emotions. It's okay to have our emotions and to feel deeply. But it's also important to remember that, you are a living child of God, a living child of the Creator, a living soul in human form. And, you have a right to be here and you get to live your life, in alignment with, however you do that, the divine plan for you. That's how I think of it, right? I want to live in alignment with the expression of my soul to the greatest extent possible. And the variations of the extremes of beauty, blessings, and on the other hand, traumas, things that we've done or said, that created effects in our life that cannot be changed. Some things cannot be fixed, and that we see in the world outside of us. I find that I do the best when I observe it from that sacred heart. I let myself have my human emotions. I burn off the excess because I'm no longer into processing for others. I gotta get grounded and live my life and be grounded and live my life. That's where I'm at now. And I respect people who do that work. I have friends that do, and that's cool if that's your mission. But now my mission for me is to embody who I truly am and live my soul purpose and mission, and the Sacred Heart, the beautiful connected place with divinity, That's where I can experience both the ups and the downs and know that in the greater scheme, all is well. It's okay. Life goes on and my soul is eternal. Love you guys.